Hey everyone, this is a day in the life of a Southeast girl, and if you're interested, welcome to my world. Because you know what? A day ain't a day. Girl, I done messed up the intro. A day ain't nothing but a length of time to be enjoyed, and you know what? We gonna enjoy it. So you guys, in this video, I would like to talk about a hurt that I wish I could heal the most for my husband. And this is not sponsored in any way. I just want to show you guys exactly where that hurting question came from. You know, it came from the And Healing Edition. And they have a YouTube channel on here. Just look up the And, or you can look up the Skin Deep. So the question that they have in this deck is actually, what is a hurt in me that, or in a person that you wish you could heal? So today I wish I could heal my husband's relationship with his father. And while I talk about that, I'm gonna, travel down memory lane. I met my husband, 6 years ago. On the outside looking in, him and his father's relationship, didn't seem perfect, but it just seemed like a relationship I would want my son to have with their father. Always laughing and joking, but they do have their serious moments, and when they're together, it's always a party. So, from the outside looking in, it looked great. It looked awesome to me, and that type of relationship is what I would want, for my child with their father. So, moving on from the beginning, and little tidbits that my husband would give me, about him and his father's relationship. It just seemed like it was a lot of trauma there, and I actually got to see, how much trauma was there once we went to this wedding. His sister got married, my husband's sister got married, and she wanted her brother and her father to walk her down the aisle, which is only right. It's only right. Hey, Isha. Hey, Eugene. I hope y'all enjoyed that honeymoon. But anyway, back to the topic at hand. So we goes to the wedding, everything, smooth sailing. The wedding was real nice. They both got to walk her down the aisle. She had her bridesmaids there. We ate, danced, and, had fun as a family. But towards the end of that night, hold on, y'all, I'm thirsty. Let me go get my water. Okay, I'm matching with my pajamas, but so towards the end of the night, and before we even went down there, his father had decided, to get us a hotel. And I was supposed to, go and have, I guess, the gas or whatever and stuff like that. But I ended up telling him, that I didn't plan or budget for no hotel. So he said he got me. So I didn't think nothing of it or whatever, And all of a sudden, we in the car, about to get out the car to go in a hotel. His wife, and mind you, his wife and my husband do not have the greatest relationship. And there's a backstory to that as well. But I just want to focus today on the trauma that he has dealt with within him and his father's relationship. So, before we get out the car, his wife just calls off and asks, out of the blue, are you working? And I'm just like, where would this question just come out of nowhere from? Like, his father had to tell, his wife that my husband wasn't working. And that's a sensitive subject for a man because, they got their pride, their ego involved, and they don't want to feel like they need anything from anybody. So why she asked that question? It almost started an argument, us getting out the car, but the real argument kicked off the next day as we was leaving. And he felt as though he should bring it up to his father, which is only right, just to tell him how he felt or whatever. And he told him, I felt like that was disrespectful to me and Angel for your wife to ask me, was I working? And that wasn't even, that was the furthest thing from my mind to be talking about with her. I didn't really want to disclose my personal situation with her. And he really, really felt disrespected. And his father just, I don't know, he just morphed into this other person. He morphed into this other person that I had never, and he was just so angry. And it was like, where did all this anger come from? And backing up, my husband and his father hadn't been talking for months. It had been months. And every time, he would call me just to find out, how my husband doing. And I would try to get them to talk. No happiness. His father would call his phone. No happiness. So this wedding was their only chance to get together and talk. And so my husband had actually mentioned something to him about, talking. And he was like, well, yeah, we'll talk later on. That talk never happened. That talk ended up having to be the lash out that my husband had coming back to DC. That talk ended up being the blow up, the biggest blow up that I done, well, not the biggest blow up that I had seen, just the biggest blow up that I had seen between them. Like, I ain't never seen them, do all that before. So while my husband is having this, he's venting, and his trauma is just coming out as anger. It's really loud, it's really angry, and it's like he a fire-breathing dragon at this point. But as I look over to the other passenger seat, all I see is my husband as the 8-year-old him. I don't see the 36-year-old him because that's all that's coming out of him. How, his father wasn't never there. His father didn't father him. And just a variety of things that he always wished, his father would listen to, his father would hear, his father would just internalize it and, come to him and apologize. And I mean, although he might not be looking for an apology now, but it's just like the other day, we were digging through the trauma that was that situation. And, after we came back from Virginia, get out the car, and I get in here and I am just wiped out. Not to mention that the father just let his wife just sneak her little side comments in there as the conversation just went along. And the whole time, he knows that my husband and his wife do not get along. So she was sneaking her little side comments in here and there, and he got angry and, outburst with her and lashed out at her too. And it was just like, sometimes, parents, they need to hear that. They need to hear the hurt. They need to hear the anger. But it is a brighter side to this. And I had to tell his father while we was in the car, I had to tell him, you can't judge, you can't sit up there and say that he had an experience with you that he didn't. Because him and his sister's experience of you are totally different. She was born, 8 years prior to my husband. So she had a different father figure in him than my husband had. So when we got in here, I was drained because it was just a lot to take in. Mind you, I'm still processing and dealing with my own trauma with my own mother and father. But to see the vitriol, to see the anger in which they spoke to him, it just was like, forget your pain. We want to get past it. Forget what you got going on, and for you talking about 30 years ago, we trying to get to now. How do we get to now? And it's like, a lot of parents do not realize that when trauma goes unresolved like that, you cannot get to the next stage in a relationship without that trauma being resolved. See, parents are so quick to say, okay, I apologize. Now let's get over it. Can we get past it? Because they don't want to deal with the feelings of it either. But the whole time you're sitting and you're going through all of this trauma, but they have unresolved trauma of theirs, and you have unresolved trauma of your own. But if nothing gets resolved, you cannot move forward. So we get in here, and I just started busting out crying because it hurt me so bad to see in live real time. It just hurt me so bad to see. And wow, I really, to my husband, if you're watching this video, I just want to tell you, and I just want to speak some life into you right now. You are nothing of what they say you are. You are nothing of what she said you are either. And you know who I'm talking about. You are everything that I could have asked for. Although we've, had our bumps in the road these past couple of years. But I don't think I would change it. I don't think I would change it because I'm right where I'm supposed to be. So, you're not weak. You are a stand-up guy. You love people more than they love you at times. You care for people more than they care for you at times. Your empathetic heart just fills me with so much joy that you can go outside and just talk to a stranger that you don't even know and brighten their day with just a simple, grand rising. It is so much stuff that I can say right now, but that day just left me real defeated, and it just left me not even wanting wanting to be in the middle of trying to mend the relationship that he has with his father. Like, they would have to do that on their own. But like I said, if it's any hurt that I could heal in my husband, that would be it. Because what I seen in that car, I seen the 8-year-old version of my husband and not the 36-year-old version. I was about to say 86. My husband not that old, but I was about to say 86, but the 36-year-old version of my husband was not in that car. And you could easily tell in the way in which they was just brushing off his trauma, turning up the music, brushing him off, doing, you lying, like all you saying is lies. He would never, and it's crazy because his father would call me and make it seem like that talk, was much needed, and that he would take my husband aside and talk to him about it, and stuff that he was holding on. He knew he needed to apologize for the stuff that was said in that car. He knew that he needed to apologize. Like, fix your son's broken heart. Fix your son's broken heart and mend the pieces that's broken. And your wife is one of those pieces. And he never saw fit to, tell his wife, she was wrong for any of what she said until maybe 30 minutes into the conversation. But it just seemed like, on another note, it just seemed like people of my generation, and I'm a millennial. If you guys don't know, I'm a millennial. So it just seems like people in my generation, we're not tolerating the trauma no more. We're not tolerating the toxicity no more. We're not tolerating just because we family, I gotta talk to you just because, we family. No, we cutting all ties. We going no contact. We not dealing with the toxicity. And that's that on that. And I'll see y'all guys later. But I just wanted to come to y'all and mention that.